Right. Hello, hello. This is my first live. Um, we're gonna talk about this thing called boxing. Um, let's see. Um, like it says on the title, this is my first live, and let's see. We're gonna talk about boxing. So, what is there to talk about? Bud Crawford, right? Let's start with Bud Crawford. He did a master class of a performance. The guy on my image right there. He put on a master class performance against Saul Canelo Alvarez. Fight took place on Saturday. Watched on Netflix by over 40 million people worldwide. Um, my scorecard personally was 10. I'm sorry, 10-2 Crawford. Let's see. I did think Canelo tried to win the fight. I will give him that. But I just think Bud Crawford was just on another level, you know. He was basically outclassed by Crawford. I mean, he fought Southpaw the entire fight, which was a genius decision because Canelo's most dangerous punch is the left hook, in my opinion, right? So by switching southpaw, that left hook doesn't have as clear as a lane to land as a punch as opposed to an orthodox fighter, right? Um, I was surprised and more than a little nervous when Terrence Bud Crawford decided to stand and trade with Canelo. He did that more than once. Okay. Um, let's see what else we got. Canelo looked frustrated. You can tell by his body language, facial expressions in the ring. We also saw this in the Dimitri Bivol fight. There was a headbutt in the fight. Um, I'm not sure that it was intentional. I'm not so sure. Um, Nevertheless, Crawford just gave him different looks, right? First of all, the Crawford's jab was bothering Canelo a whole hell of a lot. You can tell um, the way he reacted to those jabs, right? He never allowed him to set up anything, basically. At times, Bud Crawford found himself on the ropes, right? Um, and I thought he handled himself um, perfectly fine on the ropes. Let's see. Canelo managed to hit him quite a few times. Yes, he did. Um, didn't seem to bother Bud Crawford at all. Um, and that's when Bud's confidence went to yet another gear, right? Let's see. We have. Well, I mean, I guess we can talk about the co-main event, the so-called co-main event. Um, Callum Walsh versus Fernando Vargas Jr. Um, People were saying like Callum Walsh was gonna finish him. It's gonna be an easy fight, this and that. Um, I think Callum Walsh beat him. It was an underwhelming fight, to be honest with you. Vargas Jr. showed some cojones for sure. Um, He stood his ground and he won a few rounds. Okay, he did not win the fight. The fight went to Callum Walsh, and rightfully so. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not gonna spend too much time on the co-main event because I didn't think it was like the co-main worthy of being a co-main event to begin with. So that's all I'm gonna say about that one. Yes, I am going to the Lester Martinez and Christian Mbili fight, one of the fights of the year. Um, I'm gonna have to revisit that, but as of right now, it is on the short list of fight of the year. This is just off the top of my head, right? Let's see what else we got. I thought, oh, my scorecards for Lester and Mbili. That was 5-5. I had Mbili pretty much dominating the first half of the fight. Lester looked uncomfortable in there. He looked like he he wasn't used to a guy with that much pressure, right? So it took him a while to adjust, to say the least, right? And let's see, felt like around the sixth round, more or less. Probably had to rewatch it, but I think about the sixth round, more or less, he started to come into his own. Lester, that is, and I thought it was a rightful draw. I didn't see a clear winner. Somebody might have it 6-4 either way. That's fine. You know, there was a bunch of swing rounds. That's for sure. Um, let's have it again. I don't think anybody would oppose watching that again. You know, let's see. I wasn't too impressed with. I mean, they put up a great fight, but I wasn't too impressed with either of them. Honestly, I think they have levels to go before they can go up against a Benavides or a Canelo. Personally, but unbelievable fight. You know. Right. The first fight of the quote unquote main card was Muhammad Alakel versus I think what was his first name? Travis Crawford, I think. I caught that fight like at the middle of the fight, so I'll leave that up to you guys. Lewis Croker versus Patty Donovan 2. That's a fight that I definitely have to watch again. Um, man, Patty Donovan. Listen, the first fight, bro, you hit him after the bell, you hit him with elbow. I mean, I don't know what the heck you were doing. Um, Second fight, you were pressing the action, you were on the front foot, yes. Crocker was on the back foot basically all the fight, yes. But man, that's he. First of all, Patty Donovan suffered two knockdowns in the fight, if I recall. The second knockdown was bad. Was bad. It was at the end of the round. I don't remember if it was a third or fourth round, something like that. Yeah, he recovered. Thankfully, split decision, if I'm not mistaken, for Lewis Crocker. A lot of people feel Patty Donovan got robbed. Um, I don't know. I gotta watch that one again, to be quite honest with you. Um, let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna have a better I mean, a better assessment for you next time. Let's see. Oh, how could I forget? Right, we got Inoue versus MJ. Honestly, I mean, Inoue dominated the whole fight. I mean, yeah, you can say that MJ Akhmadaliev or Murodjon Akhmadaliev, his name, right? He, yeah, he wobbled Inoue at the 12th and final round. He did, yes, but I mean, I don't know why you didn't start off with that energy, MJ. I mean, yeah, I understand that you're fighting, a top-notch guy, and I can understand you being tentative for a few rounds, but not eight, nine. Like, um, I'm gonna watch this one again, but I don't know, man. I just feel I had it before, and I had it, in a way. I mean, I'm sorry, MJ giving in a way trouble, big trouble on the first half of the fight, and after that, I had in a way pulling away, 6, 7 round and stopping him around round 10, so to speak, right? That's how I picture the fight beforehand, right? But in a way, it was pretty much on cruise. This may be a little harsh, but I don't think so. It was pretty much on cruise control the whole fight, and MJ to me left a lot to be desired. You have one loss already to Marlon Tapales, and this is your second loss. Losing to Naoya anyway is no shame, no insult, but at the same time, you had Ramon Cardenas, who's a Lyft driver, and God bless him, but he gave a better showing of himself than you did. That's inexcusable, in my opinion. You've been Eddie and you calling him out all this time, and yes, you do deserve the shot. So by all means, go ahead and machine gun that mouth. I don't mind it, but you also have to prove why you're that deserving of a shot. Like you can't just basically survive. That's not it. That's like a Paul Butler type of thing. No, um, go for it. Like Neri went for it. Like Cardenas went for it. Like Nonito Donaire went for it. To a degree, Maloney. Also, I don't remember if it's Andrew or Jason, but nevertheless, underwhelming performance. I do have to watch the Medina and Yoshiki Takei fight. I understand Takei got KO'd. I'm gonna watch that one. I haven't caught that one, unfortunately. Um, let's see what else we got here. Right. Well, we have a fight coming up in a few hours with Liam Paro and David Papo over in Australia. I'm gonna hopefully catch that one. Um, of course, my boy Oscar Pupilo Collazo from Villalba, Puerto Rico. He's gonna show up and show out and defend his belt Saturday on the zone against Filipino fighter Jason Bison. Okay, I am not going to lie. I am more than a little upset that this is not unification, but whatever. Um, it is happening. I need you to show up and show out and show everybody why you are the only two belt holder in strawweight. You are the king of strawweight. Pilo Collazo today, number one Puerto Rico boxer, in my opinion. Put him ahead of Subriel Matias. I put him ahead of a clearly unfinished product in Sander Sayas, which who I love, by the way, and so on and so forth. Right? We got a bunch of fighters on the come up that are at the both contender and prospect level. Contender would be Nicolas Flaus, Naji Lopez. I'm missing a few, unfortunately. And on the prospect side, we have, to me, the number one prospect, Jean Paul Rivera, 126. We have Keith Colon, and, well, another contender is Jankiel Rivera, obviously. Just had a draw against Cordova over in Florida. And Jean Paul Rivera showed up and showed out on the same weekend. Let's see. Okay, we have. I mean, obviously, we know Boots Ennis is going to fight. He is going to fight on October 11 against Luisma Lima. We also have Khalil Cole versus Jesse Hart. Okay. And we have Alexis Barriere versus my Italian brother, Guido Vianello. I'm hoping Guido can go back to the Efe Ajagba, Arislanbek Makhmudov type performance. Okay. We can forget about the Torres performance for now, hopefully. Um, the Khalil Cole, I'm impressed with Khalil Cole. He got over the Gallegos hump, thankfully. So we see what happens with Jesse Hart. Interesting fight right there. And obviously, Jaron Boots Ennis getting his first fight, 154. A lot of people don't like the opponent. First fight at the division, particularly this division, the toughest division in boxing right now. I don't think that's debatable. Could be. Who knows? Bring your objections. It is very welcome. 154. I don't mind him getting a quote unquote tune up fight as his first fight in the division. I do not mind it. Feel free to disagree. Um, let's see what else we got here. Okay, so bad news on the Pro Box card of September 27. Unfortunately, the main event was supposed to be Nicholas Flaus versus Peter Dobson. Unfortunately, Peter Dobson has pulled out. I believe it was a bad cut in sparring. So the fight is not happening. It's not going to be, as I understand, it's not going to be postponed. It will be a different opponent for Flas, but it will not be on the 27th. So Naji Lopez has been moved to the main event against Calvin Henderson. Okay. What else we got here? Interesting. Okay, so we have uh, October 1st, former champion Marcus Brown, who fought Artur Beterbiev, fought Badu Jack on that infamous cut of Badu Jack face. Marcus Brown is fighting in Nigeria versus Brandon Glanton. Brandon Glanton, if I'm not mistaken, was the last opponent for Chris William Smith on his quote unquote comeback fight after the loss he suffered versus Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. Okay. Um, interesting. I'm gonna keep a close eye on that one. Marcus Brown is attempting a comeback, I believe, or maybe he's retiring, retirement fight. We'll see. I'll come back to you with that one. Okay, Saturday, October 11, we have Dave Allen versus Arslanbek Makhmudov. I think I favor Dave Allen for that one. I think he, finally got over the Johnny Fisher hump, so to speak. Makhmudov at this point is with all due respect, a stepping stone, right? At some point, he was highly touted, not so much. Caballero and Guido Vianello took care of that. Let's see if he still got something left in him, or if not so much. We'll see. Okay, we have here. Okay, so I almost forgot Danny Garcia. Yeah, Danny Garcia. I think this is his last fight, Brooklyn, New York versus Daniel Gonzalez. That's October 18. Definitely rooting for Mr. Danny Swift Garcia on that one. Hopefully he goes out in style. Okay, let's move along here. And of course, we have Ryan Rosicki versus Akhani Putsi on October 25. Okay, Ryan Rosicki over at the cruiserweight division, Canadian power puncher. Got the heart of a lion. Can't wait to see that guy. October 25. Here's the next big one, quote unquote, right? We have Sebastian Fundora, or the Giraffe Man, as I call him, with all the respect, right? Against Keith, one-time Thurman. Oh man, Keith, please don't fall off the stage anymore. I'm pulling for Keith Thurman. Call me crazy. Go ahead. I'm all ears. But Keith Thurman is his last chance at greatness, so to speak. So, man, I'm just hoping that he, man, can turn back the clock, man. Go back to the ponytail days, the Sean Porter days, the Danny Garcia days, the Diego Chavez days. Hopefully that happens. Um, Objectively speaking, it's gonna be really rough because Sebastian Fundora is such a unique um, how do I say this build. You know, he's built in a way that how do you even get a sparring partner to prepare for that guy? You know, the genetics just doesn't make any sense. Um, but Keith Thurman does have nice footwork. Okay, he can use this is if there's ever a fight where you need to use your footwork, this is the one. Um, I don't know. I don't have any early prediction for that fight. Co-main event, we have Oshaki Foster versus Stephen Coolboy Fulton. Good God, this has fight of the year written all over it. My opinion, I like both. I like Oshaki Foster a little bit more. I think I'm not even sure about that. Okay, but well, what man, this is, how do I? It's a 50-50 fight. I mean, like anywhere you look, I think they're matched up pretty evenly. Um, it's gonna be very interesting. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to do a breakdown on that one. That one deserves a breakdown by itself. Okay, October 25, same day, but over in the UK, we have Joseph Parker versus Fabio Wardley. Hmm, hmm. Well, Fabio Wardley just came off of a Hail Mary win versus Justice Honey. It was a fight where he was getting dominated from A to Z, and Justice Honey for got caught. Got caught. He instead of just boxing, he became overzealous, so to speak, shall we say, and he got caught and fight ended, and Fabio Wardley came up with a Rocky-like of comeback performance. Um, I just don't think, man, you're not gonna catch somebody out of nowhere like that. Like, okay, what I'm trying to say is how many times can you do that? Like how many can he do that? Yes, because Joseph Parker can get hit. He got dropped not once but twice versus um, Zile Zhang, right? Um, Not only that, he I think was dropped by AJ back in the day, and maybe Joe Joyce. I got to revisit that one, but nevertheless, like Parker, I have Parker dominating this fight. The question is whether Fabio can catch him or not. I think Andy Lee is going to prepare a great game plan. I have all the faith in the world in Andy Lee. Um, However, we shall see. I personally don't think, and this is with all due respect, yeah, I personally do not think that Fabio Wardley deserves the Joe Parker fight. I think that is Ajit Caballel, the one that should be fighting Joe Parker, because they are more or less the two most deserving of a title shot up in the heavies, right? Okay. Um, Make sure let me know what you'll think at any time, comment section, whatever the case may be. Okay, let's move it along here. What else we got here? We have, okay, November 1, we have Joshua Buatsi. Okay, coming back from that war that he had versus Callum Smith. What a fight that was. Good God. Please watch it. If you haven't seen that, go see it. I guarantee you it's going to be worth it. Okay, versus Zach Parker. Okay, that is November 1st in Manchester, UK. All right, perfect. Um, just going over this ones quickly, then I'm gonna do video going into each and every one. Saturday, November 8th, we have Virgil Ortiz Jr. versus Erickson Lubin. Showdown at 154. Okay, interesting. This fight to me can go either way. I'm not a big Virgil fan. I'm not a huge Lubin fan either, even though I do like Lubin. I do like me some Erickson Lubin. We can forget about the Charlo KO. That was a minute ago. He has been in quite a few wars. Last performance was excellent against Andrea Holmes. He had a little bit of trouble in that fight, as I recall. Ended up catching Andrea Holmes, and I think stopped him, if I'm not mistaken, to KO. With that being said, the Fundora fight was an absolute war. Jesus Ramos fight was another war. I wonder if this one is going to be a war too. So the question would be, have you been in one too many wars? Now, Virgil's been in a war himself against Boachuk, right? Went straight to the hospital after that one, no kidding, right? And had a tough ass fight against Madrimov afterwards. So I guess it's the same question for both guys. Where are we at here? I understand that Erickson Lubin won the title eliminator to challenge Bakram for the IBF title, right? When he beat Andrea Holmes. Not so sure what happened there. My boy Bakram cannot get a fight. Starting to piss me off, to be honest with you. Other than that, I got Lubin in this fight. More details to come. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Jake Paul. We can forget about that one. Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Ben 2. Oh boy. And this is November 15 as we sit here. First fight did not disappoint, to say the least, right? Um, let's see. Yes, I'm favoring Chris Eubank Jr. again. Um, yes, I am. I think it will be. Do I think it's going to be exactly the same as the first one? Probably not, because I think Chris Eubank Jr. took his time, so to speak, in the first one. I mean, in the first couple of rounds, should I say? Um, I did think he won the fight clearly. However, it will be interesting because I don't know. Conor Ben's got to come, all guns blazing, right? We're talking about going to 0 and 2, and with all due respect, right? Chris Eubank Jr. Fell short. He got to the World Championship title fights, but he fell short against George Groves, who I think, if I'm not mistaken, dislocated his arm on the fight. So he was essentially fighting with one arm, still beat him. And he came up short against Billy Joe Saunders and who's the other one? Liam Smith. Now he is 1-on-1 against Liam Smith, okay? But the first fight was bad. He got stopped badly. But nevertheless, he gave a great performance against Conor Ben. I'm looking forward to these build-ups. Okay, press conference. They launched it today, I think, or yesterday. I'm hoping we can see the dads clash. Okay, which is something that we did not get to see on the first fight build-up. Right? Remember, Chris Eubank Sr. showed up at the very quote unquote last minute, right? Which I was very happy to see. But I'll be happier to see if he hangs for the whole build up this time. Okay, just for the sake of promoting and just get as many eyeballs as possible. Um, with all that being said, I got Chris Eubank Jr. Um, I don't think he'll stop him. I think he can stop him. I don't think he will stop him. I think it's going to be decision. However, if Conor Ben wins, obviously they're going for the trilogy because not only because Eubank Jr. is getting up there, right? Eubank Jr. is in his mid 30s. Conor Ben, I think, is in his late 20s or very early 30s. So you got to move quickly with this one, because you don't want this to be like a Canelo Triple G3 whereas the older fighter is clearly, shut. You don't want to do this. You want to do it straight away. Did the second one straight away? Let's do the third one straight away. This is all if Conor Ben can pull this off, right? Obviously, it's a big if. Um, what else we got here? Let's move it along. Of course, the big Kahuna, the November 22nd card. Okay, so we got Artur Beterbiev versus Dion Nicholson. Okay, Artur Beterbiev should win this fight. Dion Nicholson should try his best. This is the opportunity of a lifetime to beat an all-time great fighter in Artur Beterbiev, right? So I'm expecting Dion Nicholson to just take risks and just try like Anthony Yard tried or like Callum Johnson tried. Just try. That's good enough because this guy is a wrecking machine. Okay. We have Jesse Bam Rodriguez versus Fernando Puma Martinez. Oh man, this is probably, well, I'll have to think about this one, but it's probably the one that I'm looking most forward to because, like my brother Dr. Boxing Talk said, this is the one that on its face looks the least likely to disappoint. Hmm? Um, with you know what? Yeah, I got Bam stopping him late. I just think Bam is too skilled. Fernando Puma Martinez got the heart, probably got the power also, but I don't think he got the skills. I don't think so. I don't think he got the footwork. I would love to be wrong because that's an Argentinian brother of mine, obviously. And I'm the biggest Bam fan there is. So we'll see. I'm just hoping to see fireworks, which it's almost 100% guarantee that we will. None of these guys are ever in boring fights. So there you have it. Definitely doing a more in-depth breakdown as it comes closer. Okay. We have what I think is the top prospect today. We can talk about Sander. We can talk about. It's debatable. Sander's already a champion, so we can move him out of the equation. But Abdullah Mason, to me, is the truth. He's the future, and he's coming very close to becoming the present as well. He is fighting Sam Knox. Sam Knox from UK. This is one thing that I have to do pertaining to this fight is more research. Okay, as of right now, I'm so high on Abdullah that I am going to pick Abdullah Mason. Yes, cannot go any further than that. I gotta get acquainted with Sam Knox. Gotta get a little more acquainted with Abdullah Mason. Abdullah Mason is the truth, fellas. Make no mistake about this. You can talk about that fight against, I think, Johan La Fiera Vasquez. He got dropped a couple of times. Yes, he also got up a couple of times. And he took care of that problem. And this is a blessing in disguise to me. Guys, this is a blessing in disguise, in my opinion, because you want to know that's the one thing that you can't, lift weights for, run hills for, hit back for, is your chin and your heart. That's one thing that you just gotta find out, and the quicker you find out, the better. And now we know that he's made out of that. What's necessary to be made of. So yeah, Abdullah all the way. Not gonna go any further until I do my due diligence on Sam Knox and a little more due diligence on Mr. Mason himself. Yes. Yes, of course. We have the Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin the Dream Haney. Yes, sir. That's the co-main event of the evening. Whew, this is a classic style versus style matchup. Okay, boxer versus puncher. Yes, Norman can box a little. Yes, Devin Haney can punch a little. Yes. They're mostly known by being a boxer and a puncher, respectively, at least from my eyes. Okay? This is a tough 1-2 call because I see it's basically who can impose their style, their will, so to speak. Yeah. Um, I think Devin Haney is going to pull it off. Why? Well, a couple of reasons. Yeah. Now you can. Yes, I understand Devin Haney's first fight at 147. Yes, yes, that's true. Okay. So it's a big test. Obviously, it's a guy. He's fighting Norman, who's not only a champion but just came out of a probably the knockout of the year, right, against Mr. Jin Sasaki. God bless him. I hope he's doing good. He suffered memory loss and all the rest. I heard he's back training, so that's great news. Okay. Um, with that being said, yeah, I have also seen Brian Norman Jr. struggling against Janelson Bocachica. Now, Janelson Bocachica is no chump, okay, but I'm just pointing out, right? He got wobbled a little. He took care of business against Derek Cuevas. He did that, but he got a little wobbled at first round, okay. Just pointing out what happened, okay. I'm not trying to say anything. Devin Haney is not known for his power. I realize that, okay. People are saying, "Oh, he had no power back in 40 or 44, whatever he fought Ryan at, or Ramirez at." But that's okay. He's going to have even less power at 47. That's fine. That's not his game. Devin Haney's game is to outbox you, and I think that's what he's going to do because I think he has probably the best. Well, the best jab in boxing is probably Terrence Bud Crawford, but he's got at least one of the best jabs in boxing. Devin Haney does. And I don't know if Brian Norman Jr. is going to be able to make the proper adjustments because he's not going to be able to sit on his punches the way he was able to do that against Jin Sasaki because Devin Haney is not going to allow him to do that. He's going to have to punch moving, and on top of that, he's going to have to cut off the ring. Hmm? So it's a tough one, guys. But yeah, I got Devin Haney. I got Devin Haney probably by unanimous decision. Okay. If Norman can bypass that jab and cut off the ring successfully, we can see. I could be completely wrong. Yeah, but I don't think so. Um, and of course, we move to the main event of the evening. David El Bandera Roja, otherwise known as the Mexican Monster, Benavides, otherwise known as Benaviolence, okay, against Anthony Yard from the UK. Mhm. I got Benavides. Do I think Yard could make it interesting? Yes. Yes, I do. But um, let's see. Uh, okay, so here's the thing, right? You look at Benavides and you look at Anthony Yard. So they are basically the flip sides of each other. What I mean by that is, as far as I can remember, right, Anthony Yard is a very fast starter. And his gas tank has been in question, right? And yes, he did himself proud against Kovalev and against Arthur Beterbiev, okay? Ain't no shame in either one of those losses. Absolutely not. But at the same time, your best win is Lyndon Arthur. So it's I don't know. It's kind of like a weird career, you know. He. How come you don't have a fight against Joshua Buatsi, Callum Smith, Joe Smith Jr., Marcus Brown, you name it? You know, like one of those guys. You know, that's four names right there, just off the top of my head. Okay, not even trying. Um, But Benavides, on the flip side, it goes from less to more in every fight. You know, he's notorious for being slow starter. 4, 5, 6 round, he starts to come to his own, and then he takes over. You know, so on that note, yes, a yard can make it interesting. Not to mention the fact that Benavides is gonna come to him, right? Um, now I got Benavides by stoppage round 8 or 9, maybe a little later, but uh, yeah, I'm pretty certain about this particular um, forecast. Let's see. Okay, give me a few minutes. I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, we are back. um, so I guess I can say a little about me. You know, I've been watching boxing since I'm a kid. Um, obviously, yeah, we can talk about favorite fighters. I am from Puerto Rico. I have Argentina, Italy, and Spain lineage, as far as I know. Um, I do appreciate every style of boxing. I can appreciate the American slick style. I can appreciate the Mexican brawling style. Okay. I can appreciate the Eastern European style, the Cuban style, so on and so forth. Yeah. Let's see. Current favorite fighters for me: Dimitri Bivol, um, Andy Cruz, let's see, Jayo Petaya, Alexander Usyk, Bud Crawford. Yes, now Yaino is up there. Bam Rodriguez, Jesse Bam Rodriguez up there too. Junto Nakatani, God sakes, Junto Nakatani, absolutely. Oscar Pupilo Collazo, Subriel Matias. Um, I do like Adames, Bronco Adames over 160. On the come ups, I do like Oslacy. I do love Abdullah Mason, obviously. Um, I do love Osleis Iglesias over in 68 and Joanly Feliciano over in 60. Very, very much. Um, I don't mind Tyson Fury. I love me some Tyson Fury. Okay. Um, I do like Joseph Parker. I do like me some Ejit Caballel. I do love me some Martin Bacoli. I like Efe Ajagba as well. Guido Vianello. Um, I don't dislike Daniel Dubois at all. I like me some Daniel Dubois. Um, let's see. I don't mind me some Dave Allen either. I don't mind. What's the name of Felix? No, Sanchez, the guy that. Oh man, can't remember his first name. Cuban, I think Cuban heavyweight. Took that L against Caballel. Um, yeah, that's about it. On the heavyweight side. On the general side, let's see. We got other favorite fighters. Caleb Plant is one of them. Yes. Um, Jean Paul Rivera. We got Xander. We got Bakram Murtazaliev. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jaron Butzenis is another one that I absolutely love. Um, let's see. We got. Oh, I don't mind Rafael Divino Espinosa. I don't mind them. We can get into the Robesi 2 fight if you want to. That's fine. Um, all in all, I don't mind the kid. I don't mind Angelo Leo either. Nick Ball, not so much. Um, let's see who else we got here. Subriel Hitchens. Nah, Hitchens not. And I mean, great performance against Cambosos. Great performance against Liam Paro as well. Yeah. But Gary Antoine Russell, I do like. I do like me some Gary Antoine Russell. Yes. Keyshawn Davis, who the hell knows what he's going to do next? I mean, he's taking a year off. Maybe he's not. Getting some help. Happy to hear that. I hope that's serious too. Um, Shakur Stevenson is a master boxer. Um, I don't mind them. I don't mind Tank Davis either. I mean, the Jake Paul fight, I'm not even. Do I need to say anything more? But nevertheless, amazing fighter. Amazing fighter, amazing power, amazing IQ, all that. Underrated defense. Um, Pitbull Cruz, not my cup of tea. No. Yes, he always offers a great fight, entertaining fight. This is what we could call him a fan-friendly fighter. Yeah. Um, he's fighting. Yes, he's fighting Lamont Roach. Interesting fight that one is, isn't it? Lamont Roach getting a common opponent with Tank Davis as well. So Tank, if he can finish the guy that Tank couldn't finish, definitely. Not that he needs a stronger case, but that would help. Um, let's see what else we got here. Just a second. Well, 154. Let's get to 154. Yeah. Um, Erickson Lubin, I like him. Virgil, not so much. Jesus Ramos, I like him. Bohachuk, great fight against Adams. Came up short. I don't mind him. I don't mind Adams either. I don't mind Shane Mosley Jr. either. Um, I don't mind Charles Cronwell. I don't like the guy. I don't mind the guy that just lost to Sander or Hechino Perez either. Fundora, not my cup of tea. Um, obviously, Jaron Butsanis is it's unbelievable fighter. Um, other guys that I like is Sandor Martin, right? Sandor Martin from Spain, my brother, and who's gotten the short end of the stick more than once. The Pollo fight was really close. Tio fight, not so much, in my opinion. Okay, and Karen Chukatsian Fought Boots Ennis twice. The second fight was unbelievable fight. He showed layers to his game skills. Nobody's ever gonna give that man a title shot. Okay, he probably beats everybody else not named Boots Ennis. Maybe if you want to say Norman is another one, maybe. But I'm 100% sure he beats Mario Barrios. Okay, and this is with all due respect. Um, one more thing about 126. I think Mirko Cuello is gonna beat Nick Ball. I don't see that fight happening. But I think Mirko Cuello, my boy from Argentina, is going to put the Buenos Aires beams on Mr. Nick Ball. But feel free to disagree. Um, Favorite fighters all time. Oh boy. I mean, Marvin Hagler's at the top of the list. Yeah, right at the top of my list is Sergio Maravilla Martinez as well. Joe, the Italian stallion Calzaghe. Okay, the pride of Wales. Yeah, 46 and 0, 32 stoppage wins. Take that. 21 title defenses. Oh boy. Do I need to say more? No, that's it. It's on fire already. Thank you. We have, I mean, the list goes on. I'll put the Puerto Ricans in a box, right? Because obviously Tito, Coro, Calderon, Benitez, Rosario, Gomez, Camacho, Juan Laporte, Alfredo El Salcedo Escalera. Oh, Lord. You name it, right? Pilo Collazo. The list goes on and on, right? Um, let's see. I do like me some Marcos Maidana. I do like me some Errol Spence, Keith Thurman. I don't mind Danny Garcia. I did love Lucas Matisse a lot, even though he was limited. Okay. Prime Chris Algieri was very interesting, in my opinion. That Probotnikov performance was just unbelievable. Okay. Salvador Sanchez is right at the top of my list of favorite fighters of all time. Salvador Sanchez is the kid from Mexico who tragically died in a car crash, age 23, but was an unbelievable fighter. 40 plus wins, only one loss. That loss was avenged. Okay, wins over Wilfredo Gomez. Wilfredo Gomez, guys, had a 100% KO ratio. We're talking 32 and 0 with 32 KOs in those divisions, guys. In the lower weights, in the 122 or 126, I don't remember. Okay, featherweight. Um, Alexis Arguello, the pride of Nicaragua himself, is right at the top of my favorite fighters of all time. Yes, he is. Also, Marquez, Juan Manuel Dinamita Marquez from Mexico, absolutely amazing counter puncher. Amazing. Let's see what else we got here. I mean, a lot of guys, right? I love James Stoney. I love Roy Jones Jr. I love, oh man, Rocky Marciano, Cesar Charles, Joe Louis, Gene Tony, Jack Dempsey, Sam Langford, Sonny Liston, Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Robinson, Joe Frazier, George Foreman, Larry Holmes, Riddick Bowe. I do like me some Vitali Klitschko. Okay, brother, not so much, but I do love me some Vitali. Yeah. Um, let's see. There's a lot more. Like I'm going off the top of my head here. I'll come up with more. You know, obviously Ray Boom Boom Mancini, Bobby Chacon. You got Rafael Bazooka Limon, bro. But Bobby Chacon and Bazooka Limon fought each other like 4 or 5 times. Highly recommend you watch those fights. Unbelievable fights. Lupe Pintor from Mexico was unbelievable fighter too. Eric Morales and Marco Antonio Barrera, of course. Nassim Hamed was awesome too. Um, obviously Duran. You got Thomas the Hitman Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard. You got Iran Barkley. You have oh man, it's a bunch. Um, Pernell Whitaker, come on, man. Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. Nicolino, the untouchable Loche as well from back in the day. Willie Pep. I mean, come on. It's just a bunch of them. Obviously, Jack Johnson and Harry Greb. I mean, um, bunch of them. Bunch of them. I did like me some Carmen Basilio. He put up some tough ass performances against Sugar Ray Robinson, but against Robinson, I mean, what are you gonna do, right? Um, and I don't know. I think we're Arturo Gotti's another one. Mickey Ward, obviously. Eric. I mean, I'm sorry. Diego Chico Corrales, another one. Jose Luis Castillo was awesome too. Um, great stuff all around. I mean, Aaron Pryor's not my cup of tea, but he was an unbelievable fighter. He has 2 wins against Alexis Arguello. I understand that. Um, Chocolatito, Romanco Chocolatito Gonzalez, legend, absolute legend. Fernando Vargas, not my cup of tea. Ricardo Vargas, Ricardo Mayorga, not my cup of tea either. Sugar Shane Mosley is the man. Oscar De La Hoya is the man. Julio Cesar Chavez is the man. Um, Vernon Forrest, God rest his soul, great fighter too. Um, Johnny Tapia, God rest his soul, great fighter too. Um, God bless Ricky Hatton, rest in peace, by the way. Okay, I always like Costa Siu as well. Um, Carl Froch was pretty good. I don't mind them. Andre Ward was unbelievable boxing IQ. He was dirty. So I put Andre Ward the same like Bernard Hopkins and Evander Holyfield. They were awesome, but they were also dirty as holy hell. It's the truth, right? Um, yes, James Lights Out Tony. Yes, sir. Great fighter. Great fighter. James Lights Out Tony. Amazing performance against Iran Barkley. Amazing performance against Michael Nunn. Okay. Great performance against John Ruiz. Um, yeah, James Toney, one of the best defensive fighters of all time, no doubt. Let's see what else we got here. I mentioned Roy Jones Jr. I mentioned. I'm just giving you like some of my favorites, right? Feel free to put in the comments on the chat if you disagree or not, or what some of your favorite fighters are. Um, go right ahead. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, so on the Puerto Rican side, who do I think is the best, right? This is an ongoing debate that we have here. Um, is it Tito? Is it Cotto? Is it Wilfredo Gomez? Is it Camacho? Is it Calderon? Is it Benitez? Um, is it Carlos Ortiz back in the day, which I hear a lot of people saying? My opinion, it is Wilfred El Radar Benitez. Um, yes, we agree there, Mr. Volta. Welcome to the channel, by the way. Thank you very much for showing up. Um, Cotto, yes. Miguel Juanito Cotto. He was a natural born killer, left hook to the liver that will send shivers down your spine. Your favorite was Hector Camacho. Man, that's not a bad pick, bro. Not a bad pick. Hector Camacho. Hector El Macho Camacho was, as far as hand speed and footwork goes, right up there. You know, um, he fought everybody too. Come on, he fought Chavez, he fought Tito Trinidad, he fought. I think he fought Edwin and Chapo Rosario as well. Like great. I mean, obviously he fought Sugar Ray Leonard as well towards the end. So that's amazing career. And I'll tell you this, Camacho to me is they don't give him his just due. I don't think Hector Camacho gets enough credit for what he did in the ring, because people always point to, the fact that he came up short against Chavez. That was the fight, kind of like a Wilfredo Gomez type when he fell short against Salvador Sanchez. As if he did nothing else, and that's frustrating. I'm not gonna lie. My favorite is Wilfred Benitez. Wilfred El Halal Benitez, to me, is the best boxer skill wise that we have ever produced. Um, that's debatable, obviously, but yeah, that's just me. Um, the most beloved in the island is definitely Tito Trinidad. It's by a million miles. It's not even close. Tito Trinidad is the most beloved fighter, and for good reason. Okay, and I love me some Felix Tito Trinidad myself. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Our first world champion was Mr. Sixto Escobar. This was way back in the day. I don't have a date for you right now. I will have it in the next stream. I do know that that's his name. There's many coliseums and schools and whatever you want to, after his name here. So do appreciate that. Um, so Volta, let me ask you, how did you see the Inoue and MJ Akhmadaliev fight, sir? Did you catch that one? Let's see. My favorite fighter of all time, like I said, is Marvelous Marvin Hagler, for many reasons. Um, but let's see. We were on the Puerto Rican fighters. Mexico, to me, and this is I'm probably gonna get jumped for this, okay? Mexican goat of boxing to me is Salvador Sanchez. I know he doesn't have the longevity. He doesn't have a 15-year, 20-year career. He passed away at 23. I understand that. But if you see that man in the ring fighting, it's pretty damn near a perfect fighter. I would recommend you watch his fight against Wilfredo Gomez, both of his fights against Danny Red Lopez, okay, and the Azuma Nelson fight. Unbelievable fighter, okay. Oh, okay, okay, you didn't. That's fine. Let me know what's your opinion on that when you see it, because I saw an MJ way too timid and tentative for my liking. Didn't really try, for a guy that's been calling Inoue out as much as he and Eddie has, definitely underperformed. Okay, that's just me. Um, the Oh man, I just forgot what I was about to say. Okay, so what? Okay, so let me ask you this: who is your favorite James Toney fight or James Toney performance? Okay, you think Naoya Inoue is all hype? He's gonna come fight. I think he fought in the U.S. already. Who did he? Hang on a second. I think Naoya Inoue fought in USA already. But let's see. Um, I definitely see your point. However, didn't well. Obviously, he fought. Oh man, I keep missing this fighter's name. Give me a sec. And against who? Just a second. Okay. Yeah, no, I see what you mean. Um, but so let me ask you this: if the money is in Japan, because to be honest with you, when it comes to the lower weights, the Asians pretty much are the kings, right? The Japanese fighter, the Philippine fighters, and the Thailand fighters, more than anything else, right? Those three nations, as I see, are the ones that have the most champions from, shall we say, 122 on down, right? Yeah, there's some Mexican fighters and USA fighters and Puerto Rican fighters, yes. But for the most part, I see Thailand fighters, Japan fighters, and also what's the other one? Japan, Thailand, and Philippines. Philippines, that's the other one. Okay, but yeah, I mean, if you want to say that he has to come to the U.S., I mean, the Junto fight, as I understand, the Junto Nakatani fight, which is the fight, is going to be in Japan. But if he fights Bam Rodriguez, or if he goes to 126, um, and cleans out that division, would you say that's enough for you to give him his just due? Because personally, I don't see the need for 126 for him. I think if he gets past Junto and Bam Rodriguez, that to me is more than enough. That's how I look at it. Nevertheless, obviously Bud Crawford put on a masterful performance. Um, no question about that. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, I went over the next fights and everything else. I like Tony's heavyweights fights. Pete. Okay. Oh man, the Vasily Girov fight. Are you kidding me? That was um that was fight of the year. That unbelievable. One of the best fights that I've ever seen in my life is James Tony versus Vasily Girov. Oh man, thank you so much for remembering me, for reminding me of that one. Good God, what a fight that was. Oh, yeah, all time great fight. That's one thing that I do with fighters. Give me an all time great fight, and I can, I can live with that. Even if you go 0-3 after that, or whatever the case may be. Like, for example, people don't like Tim Bradley too much. I'm kind of in the middle with him, depending. But as a fighter, he gave me the Provodnikov fight. You know. Thurman, whatever you want to say about him, he gave me the Sean Porter fight, and vice versa, obviously, the other guy too. So, um, and let me tell you something, Volta. I don't think the Roy fight was as one sided as people think it was. If you disagree, feel free. I welcome disagree. But I don't know. I think I'm definitely gonna watch that one again, obviously. But I remember I saw it like 3 or 4 times, and I was like, "Listen, yeah, I understand the knockdown. To me, that wasn't a knockdown. Feel free to disagree if you want to." But I don't know. I think James Toney pretty much came to his own towards the second half of the fight. Was it too little, too late? Yeah, yeah, it was. Um, Most likely, but I don't think it's as one sided as people make it out to be, and that is just me, obviously. Um, Nevertheless, another guy that I'm not sure of, bro, the present guy is David Morrell. David Morrell to me has a lot to answer for. I don't mind the Benavides performance. I don't mind it as much as some people do. But the Imam Kataib fight, the fact that he was clowning around so freaking much. Um, yeah, there we go. 20 was drained. No, Roy never gave him a rematch. He never did it. That's my problem with Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr., prime Roy Jones Jr. looked like he came straight out of a video game. It just didn't make any sense. But anytime he fought a guy that was up to par with him, you didn't see that Superman Roy. You didn't see that. You saw that against Richard Hall. You saw that against Lou Del Valle, Virgil Hill, which is a pretty good fighter. Montel Griffin, the second one. You know, all those Clinton Woods, all of those virtuoso performances was against subpar. With all the respect, right, was against subpar opposition. That's my problem with Roy Jones Jr. And I don't understand why you have to go all the way up there to fight John Ruiz. I never understood that. Like, it's one thing if you're going for Lennox Lewis or someone like that, but John Ruiz, bro, with all the respect, nah. I mean, and then to lose all that weight and never be the same. Like, I would be better off with Roy if he fought B Hop 3 times, Tony 2 or 3 times, Joe Calzaghe 2 or 3, like, the Glenn Johnsons. The I would I will not respect him more because I respect him, but I will feel more strongly towards him if he took that route instead of just going to heavyweight and did a hit and run, basically. um, but yeah, I mean, Roy is an all-time great fighter, no question about that. Um, but yeah, James Stoney, and I feel bad for James Stoney, bro, because I've seen this from several sources and places say that it's sparring, too much sparring is what got to him. He's experiencing a little, as I understand, a little CTE. So definitely my prayers go out to him. Um, Hate to see when a fighter, particularly a legend, um, you know, it's in that bad a shape. Um, yeah, it sucks. I remember Tony. No, I'm sorry. I was thinking about Karma. Yeah, Karma did catch. Karma did catch up to Roy. Yes, sir. Yes, it did. Yeah, he got seen by Tarver and Glenn Johnson and Joe Calzaghe and even Enzo Macarinelli, bro, and Dennis Lebedev, bro, which was really bad. So nah, it's yeah, Roy as a career, if you really look at it, it's a little shaky, shaky. But I'm not sure I've ever seen a more talented, just pure talent fighter. Um, I mentioned Pernell Whitaker as one of my favorites, obviously. I mean, I mentioned like 100 names by now. Back in the day, we can go with Archie Moore and the old mongoose himself. Um, I mean, Yvonne Durrell. I mean, you name it, right? Harry Greb, the Fighting Marine, Gene Tani, Tony Canzoneri, Rocky Marciano, Joe Louis. I mean, you name it, bro. Joe Louis. That's the thing. Gotta have like a memorable rivalry or a memorable performance, right? You look at Joe Louis' memorable rivalry versus Max Schmeling. Right, more like skill on athleticism. Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right, Volta. Yeah, that's more like it. Um, and you had Jack Dempsey versus Gintani, that rivalry. Like you had Sugar Ray Robinson against Jake LaMotta, and Sugar Ray Robinson versus Carmen Basilio. That's what makes your name in the sport. Sugar Ray Leonard versus Tommy Hearns. Tommy Hearns versus Marvin Hagler. Duran versus, well, you name it, Esteban de Jesus, Buchanan back in lightweight, and then obviously the rest of the four Kings, um, all the way up to Iran Barkley and the rest of them, right? Um, Chavez, you had Chavez versus Camacho, you had Chavez versus Roger Mayweather, you had Chavez versus the Greg Haugen versus Edwin Rosario versus, I mean, you name it, right? Um, Pernell Whitaker, I mean, Meldrick Taylor. How did I forget about Meldrick Taylor? Good God, bro, what a rivalry that was. Well, what a tragic fight that was, in my opinion. And then you got Ali versus Frazier, Ali versus Foreman. You had Lennox Lewis versus Vitaly Klitschko, Lennox Lewis versus Mike Tyson, Lewis versus Holyfield. That's what people remember. Oh, that's what people remember. Um, thank you. You too, sir. You too. Um, but I'll be remiss if I didn't bring up the elephant in the room, right? People talk about this fighter ducked that fighter ducked this. Listen, of 100% of all the fighters, of all the legends, big name, whatever you want to call it, in history, you can point to damn near every single one of them. I mean, there are a few exceptions, okay, but um, most of them ducked one or two guys. Like Sugar Ray Leonard ducked Aaron Pryor, and in my opinion, he ducked Mike McCallum. All the four kings ducked the body snatcher. God bless him, Mike McCallum. Okay, that's a fact. It's also a fact that Sugar Ray Robinson ducked Charlie Burley. It's also a fact that Jack Dempsey ducked Sam Langford and Harry Greb, if you press me. Okay, so this is something that yes, there are some exceptions. I don't think Muhammad Ali ducked anybody. I don't think Oscar De La Hoya ducked anybody. You can point to a few exceptions, but by and large, it's just something that we have to live with as a community, as fans, as whatever the case may be, right? Um, is it right? No, but it does happen. It does happen more than people realize. You know, um, I can point to Floyd ducking this guy. That's fine. I'm not saying that he's not all that great. I'm just saying, okay, you are that all that, but you also didn't see this guy and that guy, which is fine, bro. Neither did that other guy. I understand, but I don't know. I guess I'm trying to, whether I like it or not, make peace with certain facts that come with this sport that I love. Right, this thing called boxing. um, what else we got? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give you, in my opinion, the greatest upset of all time. What do you think about Dana? That's BS. Total BS. That's BS. That's dangerous. Um, it's gonna become. He wants. If he has his way, this will be like the UFC, where you're gonna have like three or four people making bank, right? And like, give a number, right? Like 500 dudes making, chump change. You know, I don't think he's gonna succeed in that, but I don't like it. I don't like it. Eliminating the Ali Act, which is meant to literally protect fighters from, bad practices by promoters. Um, man, I'm telling you, I don't like this one bit, and I think Turkey's in on it. Okay. Um, on the Ali Act, because I know the Ali Act encompasses several things. Okay, I definitely gotta do a little more research on that. That's my thing. Like the just nuances that comes with it. He's shameless. Yes, he is shameless. He's shameless because he can be. Like he's you look at like how he treats the press in the UFC, right? You look at the UFC post-fight press conference. I mean, you'll be hard pressed to find any real question, any tough question, and there's a reason for that because he's worse than King, and probably. Yeah, well, that's a that's that's a debate right there, right? But yeah, I think you're probably right. It's worse than Don King and Bob Arum. Probably, yeah, because the it's bad because Ariel Helwani. I'm not the biggest fan of Ariel Helwani, but he will at least ask you the tough questions. He ain't there to just, hey, how you feeling? Hey, what do you think? No, no, bro. He's gonna ask you an uncomfortable question. That's what journalism is. Journalism is all not, hey, Dana, how you feeling today? No, bro, that's not journalism. That's a cheerleader. And you either get with the program or you're not going to get the credentials for or access to them, so they can blackball people by doing that. And that's and did you see Volta what Sean Sittel asked him? That was, well, Sean Sittel is a legend for that. Shout out to Sean Zittel, bro. For real. Sean Zittel is a legend for asking him that. And this bozo, set up an interview. Yeah, like you're never in a million years gonna give that man an interview. So stop playing with me. Okay, he asked you a serious question and you acted like a bitch. Excuse my French. Okay? It is reality. You dodged the question And yeah, shout out to him. Yeah, shout out to Sean Zettel, bro. Finally, somebody asking a question to Dana White, bro. Literally shaking his boots. This is not about me. This is about these two guys. If you want to talk about this, set up an interview with me. Yeah, I'm gonna set up an interview with me and with you, and I'm not never gonna hear from you again. You bald idiot. Um, the He's the journalist of the year. Yes, sir. Just for that, bro. Just for that. I see him everywhere, but yeah, just for that, give him journalist of the year, bro. What a legend, man! In front of everybody too. That's how I like it. But yeah, the back to your question, bro. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. We'll see how this whole thing plays out because they got money on their side, and obviously he got the. I think he's got the political connections and everything that comes with it. So we'll see. We'll see because I don't think he's going to be able to pull it off in the end. You know. I don't think so. Because if you think about it, in the MMA, they were the first dogs in the game, right? Or at least the first big dogs in the game. Pride, I know Pride back in the day was better than the UFC, but Pride was run by the Yakuza, which is essentially the Japanese mafia. So they went out of business. The UFC acquired them. That's how they were able to get all those superstars. Not Fedor Emelianenko, not the best one, but they got, Mirko Krokov, Anderley Silva, Rampage Jack, a bunch of them, right? A bunch of them. And they were able to merge with Pride. Um, oh, okay, that's fine. Just giving you like a synopsis of what happened, right? And they became this powerhouse known as the UFC. Now, when they really became a powerhouse was when Conor McGregor blew up, right? That's how they got their valuation in the billions with a B. But what I say all that to say, I don't think he's going to be able to pull this off in boxing. I really don't. I guess I'm hoping more than than believing at this point, but I don't see it, bro. So, boxing's been around forever. Boxing's been around for damn near 150 years, maybe even more than that. So, nah, I don't see it, but anything is possible, bro. UFC's a scam to me. I mean, yeah. They're going to Paramount now, right? They're going to Paramount Plus, and they're starting on January of 2026, if I'm not mistaken. So that's gonna take the pay-per-view model off. Not that anybody was paying for it with the streaming and everything, but it's a scam for. Well, actually, you know what? You're right, bro. Because it is a scam. Because you work your ass off to get good at grappling and to get good at striking, plus the strength and conditioning, plus the cardio, and plus the dieting and the resting and the injury and everything that comes with it, right? To get paid essentially chump change. I mean, the split between UFC and the fighters is like 80-20 or something disgraceful like that. Whereas if you look all the way, you look at the NBA, the Major League Baseball, NFL, hockey, and all the rest of them with the three letters, right? It's damn near 50-50, all of them. 55-45, 51-40, whatever. It's around 50-50. This one is 80-20, if that even. So it is a scam. It is really a scam unless you're one of those unicorns that is able to make that kind of money. Um, but the problem is, here's what's under the table of the Paramount deal, right? Everybody's like, with the pom poms on because it's not going to be any more pay per view. And if you're a fan, I mean, you love it, right? But there's no real need for them to create stars as much as they was before because in the pay per view model, yeah, you needed asses in seats. You needed to play ball with a star. So no more UFC pay per views as soon as the Paramount deal kicks in, which is January 2026, right? And yeah, they have essentially a contract where they have to put X amount of events a year and they're getting a check for it, right? So there's not that much of a need as from an organization standpoint to create superstars as it was in the back in the Conor McGregor days, the Ronda Rousey days, and the GSP days, right? Even in the early John Jones days. They just gotta keep a roster with X amount of people that can fill up X amount of events, and they're getting a check. A check. I'm sorry, they're getting a check for it. It failed. I don't know if it failed because they're getting billions on this Paramount deal. Man, it sucks because a bunch of these fighters, particularly fighters like Mark Hunt and Kong Lee and others who were involved in this class action lawsuit, that they settled, it sucks because they're not really getting what they deserved, what they deserve to get. But I mean, when you acquire your competition, because they also acquired Elite X Strike Force back in the day, which was pretty good, and I forget about the other one that they acquired. What was Jose Aldo and Uriah Faber and all the rest of them? I forget about that one. But back to boxing. So no, I don't. And I think Dana knows because Sean Sittel has set a precedent, right? Now everybody knows what are you up to. How do you watch Paramount? Paramount is like, it's Paramount Plus, right? It's like like a Disney Plus or like a Netflix. As I understand, I don't have it. You know. Oh, okay. Canada. I'm not sure. I live in Puerto Rico, so I'm not sure. Um, have I seen you in the Ryan Fraser Talk Up North pod? I'm not sure, but look it up. Look it up on your smart TV or mobile phone or something. It should be Paramount Plus. But like I said, that deal doesn't kick in until next year. So um, for the time being, it looks like we're gonna remain for pay per view, and that's fine. Whatever. I don't mind the UFC. I mean, I watch it because I like the sport. But as far as the fighter pay and everything, it's a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. And I mean, the fighters had their chance to make a union. They didn't do that. So fortunately, they carry some of the blame too. Um, but yeah, the way this whole thing has been run, if you really look at it, it's disgusting. From them because MMA. The thing is, like MMA, you have to worry about so many things in MMA. Boxing, you have to worry about the left fist and the right fist. I know there's a lot more to it. I know this, but just on its face, right? But MMA, bro, you got knees, you got elbows, you got fists, you got legs, you got leg kicks. Shin goes to your face, and on top of all that, you got to worry about somebody tearing a limb off your body in the ground or putting you to sleep or ground and pound. I mean, you got to worry about a million freaking things in MMA, and then you got people fighters starting GoFundMe pages, bro. What the heck? What are we doing here? Like, you got to be good at all these things. There's no tougher sport to train for than MMA. I'm sorry, it's got to be. I mean, you got to be great at striking. You got to be great, and that's a cute little word, striking. But I mean, it's boxing and Muay Thai, right? Basically, if nothing else. And you got to get your wrestling and Brazilian Jiu Jitsu for the grappling game. It's a bar fight. Boxer versus wrestler, yeah. No, no, wrestler, bro. If you can, unless you can clock the wrestler as he's on the way to shoot for a takedown, if he's got you, you're screwed. Trust me. I did Brazilian Jiu Jitsu for like 3 or 4 years, and I had the misfortune of rolling with wrestlers more than a few times. It's bad. Crap. Karate guy. Karate's no joke, bro. I mean, karate's got some good kicks. You got some, Lyoto Machida, Stephen Wonderboy Toms. You got karate's no joke. It's not the ideal choice for striking. That would be Muay Thai and boxing. Boxing first, in my opinion, then Muay Thai. But karate depends on which karate it is, right? If it's Shotokan, if it's Kyokushin. I mean, there's a million different types of karate, but those two are the best for me. Um, let's see, where was I? The But I mean, UFC unfortunately is it's the only way to go if you're gonna if you wanna train MMA and if you wanna have any hope of having a great career and everything. There's only one choice, guys. Technically speaking, UFC is not a monopoly, but in reality, it kind of is, guys, because you can go to ONE FC or you can go to PFL. And you're gonna fight once every 2 or 3 years, maybe, for chump change. I mean, look at this guy, the French guy, Rainier Derrida, who's about to challenge Hamza Chimaev for the middleweight championship, right, in the UFC. He was saying that in ONE FC he couldn't get a fight for the longest time. He fought like once in 2 years, and this is a champion. So they've made it towards they're the only choice if you want to be somebody in MMA. So you either play by our rules or go sit in the kiddie table, basically. And it sucks, but I mean, I guess it is what it is, right? Um, Whether I like it or not, it's gonna remain. Um, so I mean, if you're training your kid in combat, do boxing first. Boxing should be the first choice. Boxing is for UFC is for failed boxers. The boxing should be the first choice as far as training somebody to self defense, combat, whatever. Why? Because you want to educate your hands before anything else. That was a good Volta. You want to train your hands, educate those hands. Now, if you want to do something else while you do boxing or at the same time or later, that's fine. I mean, I. I've done more things. I haven't only boxed. I have also done jujitsu. So to me, it's very good to know to know your stuff on standing up and on the ground. You know, it's very important in my opinion, whether you're professional or not, right? Boxing first, and then you do whatever you want to do, because transitioning from a striking art to a grappling art, it's more seamless than the opposite. You know, and I know this firsthand. Okay. Um, okay, I went over the November card already. Um, yeah, that's pretty much. If anybody got anything else you want me to talk about? Um, I'm gonna be doing my lives basically every day. But for this one, let's see. Anybody got a question about a fight? If you want me to recommend, if anybody wants a recommendation for, oh yeah, it's great for personal use. Um, or was I? Oh, a fight recommendation, like my guy Volta just said. Watch James Toney versus Vasily Girov, guys. You will not be disappointed. Trust me on that. Another fight that I can recommend is Keith Thurman versus Sean Porter. I mean, the list goes on and on. Obviously, Hearns and Hagler, you can never go. It only lasted 3 rounds, right? But you can never go wrong with that one. To me, that's the greatest fight I've ever seen in my life. Also, another great recommendation is George Foreman versus Ron Lyle. That was the Hagler Hearns of heavyweights, guys. Um, I mean, there's a bunch. I mean, I can recommend. Let's see. I mean, for a recent fight, I can recommend Callum Smith versus Joshua Buatsi. Oh, Castillo Corrales. Say that again. Oh man, what a fight that was. Thank you for reminding me, Volta. Oh boy, Castillo, Jose Luis Castillo versus Diego Chico Corrales. Please go watch that fight if you haven't. Okay, that's an order. Yeah, that should be man. You know what I should do? I should do a list of mandatory required fights to watch. I'm gonna do that next time. I'm gonna write this down here. I'm gonna come up with like a top 20, 30, maybe even more fights that are required watching for anybody that loves the sport of boxing, okay? For anybody that loves this thing called boxing, okay? Um, yep, I will do that next time. And thank you for that, Volta, because that fight is top, mm, at the very least, top 10 required watching, surely top 5. And some people might have it number 1. And I would not have anything to say. Like, the short list gotta be Gotti Ward 1, Corrales Castillo, Hearns Hagler, and this is just at the top of my head, right? Um, but yeah, I know there's a lot of them, you know. And I'm gonna try to be as how do you say, as diversified on my list as possible as far as weight classes. And oh, rest in peace, Chico Corrales. Yeah, I think he had a accident on his bike or something like that. Something tragic happened to him. Yeah, yeah. Great career, bro. It was taken from us way too soon. Rest in peace, Diego Chico Corrales. Yes, sir. God bless him. God bless Ricky Hatton for the memories and all the rest of them. You know, we lost Israel Vasquez not too long ago. We lost Dwight Mohammed Cowie, aka the Camden Boss Saw, not too long ago. We lost Joe Buckner not too long ago. You know, boxing community's taken big hit recently. Um, I'm just hoping that it continues to grow as a sport, and wishful thinking maybe, but I hope it gets cleaner. That's probably impossible, but I'm just, I guess I'm hopeful, you know. So, this was Irony Boxing. For you, this is my first live. Okay, I have been in panels of boxing, trying to learn the ropes of how to manage myself, you know, doing this. Um, Not so bad for first time, I would think. Nevertheless, Volta, thank you for showing up and writing the comments that you have. I especially appreciate you for reminding me the James Toney Vasily Girov fight, reminding me the Diego Corrales versus Castillo fight. Okay, and you got me talking about Dana White. You got me talking about a lot of things. Yeah, this is my first time, first live ever. You know that I've done. So you have, you're the man, Volta. Um, Welcome. And like I said, I'm gonna be doing lives basically every single day. You know, I'm gonna go live tomorrow as well. Maybe a little earlier than this hour, maybe not. We'll see. But oh man, something just came to my mind and then I lost it again. See what I mean? I'm so old. You're knowledgeable, natural. Thank you, man. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Volta. Yes, sir. Um, Thank you very much. Yes, and I'm gonna start opening up panels and so that people can chop it up, you know, for as long as they want to. Obviously, Volta, you got dibs if you want to. um, Nevertheless, this was Irony Boxing. Thank you for tuning in. Special thank you to Volta for his comments. Okay, welcome, sir, and God bless. God bless every single one. Have a safe, um, have a great evening and a great day tomorrow. Okay. See you all soon. Goodbye.